What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Bekah. I'm so glad you're here. Here I share tips and tricks for planning your Disney vacation, tips for taking a toddler to Disney World, as well as vlogs from our latest Disney trips. And today I am sharing all the tips for eating healthy while at Disney. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron because let's be real, one of the best parts of being at Disney is the food. But this video is not gonna be about cutting out carbs, skipping dessert, only eating salads. This video is all about equipping you to make healthy choices while still enjoying your vacation, but not going overboard. I have to give the disclaimer that I am no nutrition expert. I have no background in nutrition or anything like that. I just appreciate fueling my body with good food, and I've learned a thing or two along the way through the years on our Disney vacations, so I thought it would be fun to share them with you guys. So let's dive in to tip number one. Tip number one is probably the most obvious and easiest tip to follow. Okay, well, maybe not for everybody, but that is to drink water and skip the soda or the milkshake or whatever choice of drink you end up opting for at a meal. Just choose water. It's such an easy way to set yourself up for success on a long, hot Disney day. My goal for myself is to drink a minimum of 100 ounces of water while at Disney. That's like my bare minimum, and then I try to go over that. I try to skip the sugary drinks at meals, but I do love a really good margarita, so I may hold out for a margarita at dinner or something like that. But apart from that, I try to stick with water all day long. But if you are an avid Sprite drinker, this might be a little more challenging. So try to replace one Sprite with 1 cup of water, and you're gonna hit that water intake goal that you've set for yourself way easier. Tip number 2 is to be mindful of your portions. I don't know what it is, but the portions that Disney gives you is large. So there are a few things you can do to be mindful of those portions. A couple of things you could do is split a meal with somebody, or you could opt for the kids meal. Most of the time, the kids meal ends up being more than enough food for me, and I couldn't even imagine doubling that and getting the adult entree. So opting for the kids meal is always an easy way to not only save money, but watch your portions as well. Another thing you could do is go ahead and ask for a to-go box right when you get your meal, and go ahead and just box up half the meal and save it for later. And I've done this so many times because either it's a burger or a sandwich or whatever it is, and half the sandwich ends up being so much food, and there's no way that I could even finish the rest of that sandwich. And so I just take it and save it for later, and then I have dinner for later that night, or I've got lunch to go to the park the next day, whatever the case is. And again, this is another great money saving tip, but it helps you even visualize the portions a little bit better. That way you're not looking at this giant burger or giant sandwich. You can go ahead and just take half of it off your plate, put it in a to-go box, and it's really gonna help you control your portions way better. Another thing you could do to help with portion control is to make dining reservations at buffets. Now, hear me out. I know what you're thinking, like, Bekah, buffets and portion control, that does not go together. But here's the thing about buffets. You are in control. So most of the time, buffets have really great options for protein, lots of vegetables and healthy carbs, and you can really piece together your ideal meal. And I mean, again, you're in control, so you get to determine the portions of when you're full, and no one else in the back of the kitchen is determining that for you. So that's the reason I love buffets, is that you can completely customize your plate and make it exactly what you want. And buffets can actually be a great option when you're looking to eat healthy at Disney and ways to control your portions. So that's tip number 2, is be mindful of portions, because Disney portions are crazy. Tip number 3 is to make adjustments to your meal wherever you're at. So we talked about the buffet, but whether you're at a table service or a quick service, cast members are eager to help you. They want to help create a meal that's going to best fit what you're looking for. They're gonna go out of their way to make sure that meal is exactly what you want it to be. So for instance, an easy thing to do at a quick service is to substitute the fries for fruit. Or if there's there's another side item that looks good. That's a really easy thing to customize your meal and make it just a little bit healthier. Another thing you can do is if it's a salad, you can ask for different ingredients or dressing on the side. That's another really easy way to customize your meal. Another tip specifically for table service restaurants is, let's say that there is a chicken sandwich on a menu and it's fried and you're wanting to see if they can do it grilled, but grilled is not on the menu. It only comes fried. Ask your server if they are able to do it grilled, even if it's not on the menu. Sometimes, depending what restaurant it is, they can customize your meal to a certain degree, even if it's not on the menu. So don't be afraid to ask. I think that's the number one thing that's held me back in the past is, oh, well, it's not on the menu, so I'm not even gonna ask if they can do that. But you never know unless you ask. And the worst they can say is, no, sorry, we're not able to. And they might make another great suggestion of something that they are able to do. So don't be afraid to ask. And there are so many ways to customize or modify your meal a little bit to make it just a little bit healthier. So don't be afraid to ask, because Disney cast members want to go out of their way to help you. Tip number 4 is to plan out the things that you do want to splurge on. So let's say you are planning an evening at Disney Springs and you have it set in your heart that you are going to get a Gideon's Bakehouse cookie. Actually, this is just a real life story, so it's not even hypothetical. So this is me. I have it set in my heart that I'm gonna get a Gideon's Bakehouse cookie. So that morning I opted to skip the sugary cinnamon roll breakfast and go for something a little lighter, a little healthier. Same thing at lunch. I did, kind of a lighter lunch and did not do dessert and held off on dessert for dinner as well. Like, I knew all day long that I was gonna go get this cookie. So I felt like I had the freedom to splurge on these cookies though at the end of the night, because I hadn't gone crazy during the day already. So that's a good example of how you can plan to splurge at Disney. So there are so many amazing treats and meals and all kinds of things, and you should definitely enjoy yourself while at Disney. But what I do is I actually schedule those treats into our day and I plan to splurge on those things. So I already know in advance what treats I'm going to get. Or let's say we have plans to head to the Nomad Lounge and they have one of my favorite cocktails there and it's Disney. I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna get a couple. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much only stick with water the whole day, make sure that I am hydrated, and that way I feel like I have the freedom to get the cocktails at the Nomad Lounge. So those are a couple examples of how I plan to splurge on different treats at Disney. All right, moving on, I do want to share a few recommendations of where to find healthy food options at Disney. So I'm going to share a couple different locations at each park that have some really great options. Honestly, you could go anywhere at Disney, quick service, table service, and find a healthy option, but sometimes it can be challenging. So let's start with Magic Kingdom. In my opinion, Magic Kingdom is probably the hardest park to find healthy options at, because you are gonna find the most chicken nuggets and corn dogs and pizza, burgers, like all of that is at Magic Kingdom for some reason. But there are a couple really great spots with some really good healthy options. My first recommendation is Columbia Harbor House. Now they have an incredible salmon platter, and I know a lot of people feel a little like, just about trying seafood at Disney, but I'm telling you, this salmon, no exaggeration, was incredible. It didn't have any kind of special seasoning or sauce or anything to it, but it was one of the best salmon meals I've had in a really long time. I mean, it seemed so simple and so basic, but I think that's why I loved it. And it comes with rice and green beans, so you really feel like you're getting a balanced meal, and it really made me feel full but still energized for the rest of our evening without feeling like heavy and bloated at the end of our Magic Kingdom day. So it was a really good dinner option, and I highly recommend the salmon platter. Another Magic Kingdom option is Pecos Bill, and there are actually a few different options here on the menu that fall into that healthier category, but my favorite meal is the fajita platter, mostly because you can split it between two people and it's more than enough food. food. And again, it's something that you can kind of customize. It comes with all of your different ingredients to make your fajita, and then you can make it whatever you want to make it. So if you want to exclude the sour cream and the cheese and, you know, have it be just a little bit lighter with just the chicken and veggies, you can, or you can add on the cheese and sour cream. And again, you can make it whatever you want to make it. So that is a really good option at Magic Kingdom if you are looking for a healthier meal. Moving on to Animal Kingdom, this first one is no surprise. Is Satuli Canteen. And I've talked about this so many times on my channel. Those chicken bowls, you guys, they are unbelievable. This is another meal that you can completely customize and make it whatever you want to make it. You start with your base and then you build it on with your protein. You can choose greens like lettuce, you can do like a sweet potato hash or rice, and then you get to choose whichever sauce you want. And they have this creamy herb sauce dressing. I don't know what it is, but it is so good. I get it on the side and it's just unbelievable. I usually go for the rice and black beans, and then I get it with chicken, and it comes with this like coleslaw on top. I don't know. It is just so good. Honestly, this is another meal that you could probably split. My husband never lets me split because he always wants his own, but if I was with somebody who wanted to split with me, it would work out great. My next Animal Kingdom recommendation is Tusker House. So this would fall into that buffet category, and we recently ate at Tusker House. We did their lunch and it was surprisingly incredible. And I think the thing I love about it is that you have so many protein options, you have lots of vegetables, healthy carbs, and it's just a really great balanced meal. And then of course, if you want to take it, you know, be a little bit healthier with it, you can skip out on the mac and cheese and the desserts and the bread. But I love that, again, you can totally customize this and you have control over your portions here. So you get to decide, you know, of course I'm going to try the mac and cheese, but I'm not going to do, you know, a giant bowl of mac and cheese with my meal. But I have control over that because it's a family style buffet type meal. So this is a really good one where you can make some healthier choices, and the food is so good here. I was so surprised. I thought we were just paying for the characters, but the food is worth going back for. So I highly recommend Tusker House. Moving on to Hollywood Studios, my first recommendation is the ABC Commissary. I don't know which one it is, but they have some really good options. And I honestly thought that this place used to be only chicken nuggets and burgers and pizza. But since looking at their menu recently, they have quite a few healthier options now. One thing that caught my eye was their shrimp tacos. They also have a Mediterranean salad with chicken. So there's quite a few options here if you're looking for something healthier. And then my other recommendation at Hollywood Studios is at the Hollywood Brown Derby. This is one of my all-time favorite restaurants, and it's usually pretty easy to get a reservation here. And I always opt for the Cobb salad. And again, this is another thing that you can totally customize. So I get mine with chicken, and I'll usually replace the blue cheese or just have them take the blue cheese completely off. I ask for dressing on the side, and if there's another ingredient that you're not a fan of, you can replace it with something else. You can get rid of it completely. It's just a really great option if you're wanting something a little bit lighter, but you want it to be totally customizable. So this is a really good one. And lastly, Epcot. This one was really challenging to narrow down because this is basically a food park. I mean, you go to Epcot for the food. So depending on how you look at it, this could be the easiest park to eat healthy at, or it could be the hardest park. So however you look at it. But my first recommendation would be Regal Eagle Smokehouse. They have some incredible food. I mean, I just went for the barbecue. I'm not gonna lie, the last time we were there, but they also have a half chicken plate, and they have a power green salad with chicken here. So lots of really great options, and you can try all of their barbecue sauces and get them on the side if there's one that you want to try with your salad. So highly recommend Regal Eagle Smokehouse. But honestly, I would just get the barbecue if you're gonna go there. I mean, you can't not get the barbecue if you're gonna go to Regal Eagle. So highly recommend. It's amazing. And my last healthy meal recommendation at Epcot is Sunshine Seasons. Now, this is another one that has lots of options when it comes to eating healthy. And again, I was super surprised at their menu. I thought it used to be, chicken nuggets and pizza, but they have really stepped up their game. I wrote a few things down that looked really good at Sunshine Seasons. They have an oak grilled chicken, a grilled salmon, and then spicy shrimp tacos. I mean, I could go on. There were lots of things that caught my eye and lots of healthy options. So those are just a handful of things. I mean, just right off the top of my head, things that I jotted down of recommendations that I would suggest when it comes to eating healthy at Disney. But again, you can go anywhere and find healthy meals. I think people assume so quick that Disney is just burgers and chicken nuggets and corn dogs, when in reality, there is so much good food, really, really good healthy food options at Disney as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and it really helps support my channel, so it would really mean the world to me. And make sure that you are subscribed if you are not already. Hit that subscribe button, that way you don't miss any of my other Disney planning, Disney tips and tricks videos, or Disney vlogs. I have lots of fun content coming soon. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!